What's up, guys? Have my morning tea. I do not drink coffee at quick caffeine. And quick hack, life hack, if you want an immediate sense of energy, quick caffeine. All right. And that leads me to my topic for today's video, which is going to be on lead handling. Now, this is an old slide, old presentation that we created for past clients in our agency for chiropractors. But I went through the whole presentation. I was going to come up with a new presentation for agency owners. What I realized is that the topics that I've been teaching to our clients, as well as just teaching other agency owners, it's all the same. Okay, when it comes to building an outbound team, I had somebody ask me a question about, Caleb, if my lead to appointment ratio is good, do I need an appointment setter? And the purpose of an appointment setter is not only to generate appointments with the leads, but also, you can have them full-time generating leads for you. And that could look like doing cold calls, like calling certain lists, calling warm lists, getting your overall lead to appointment ratio higher, right? Because I'm telling you right now, in your database, if you've been running paid ads for a while, or you've been doing any sort of organic lead generation, there's a lot of leads that already are warm, already are in the market, and we need, the great thing about appointment setters, they can shift through that database to find more of those leads, and save you time in finding the gems, the hidden gems inside of your database. All right, so this presentation is going to just talk about what lead generation is, how to handle leads, and how to just convert them over into appointments, right? That's what we all want. Again, this is an old presentation, so there might be some things with chiropractic, but it's all the same, and I'll relate it to agency owners out there. Okay, so Pablo Picasso, great quote by him, and he says, verbatim, "Our goals can only be reached through a vehicle of a plan, in which we must fervently believe and upon which we must vigorously act. There is no other route to success." And why I wanted to start with this quote is that whenever we have goals, let's say you have a goal to hit 50K a month, 100K a month, 200K a month. We have clients doing 300K a month in their agencies. And one of the things that we dive into is, what do we have to do? What's the goal, right? And we have to define that, right? So that looks like a number, whether it's revenue or, if they're a bigger agency, they just really want to book more appointments organically. And so we set a goal to hit that revenue mark, hit that appointment mark. The next step is to then set a plan, right? Have a goal, have a plan, and then believe in that process, right? And the only way that you guys can believe is either by me instilling the belief into you, by having done it and having said with conviction that we can do this is the route, showing you testimonials, showing how we're doing it. And then you can then take that conviction and that belief and have it transferred over to you so that you can then actually see results with an organic team and outbound marketing. All right, so that's the whole purpose of that. There's no other route to success. That's what Picasso says. There's no other route to success. You must have a plan. You must have a goal. You must believe in it. And then you must act. And you must take massive action towards that. Okay, so let's go ahead and skip to some slides that you guys actually want to look at. So one of the things that we look at is going to be, okay, so how do we go from lead to the appointment, right? And there's a lot of little things that are happening within that whole process. But one of the things that we are focusing on is, okay, how many dials are we making, right? And so we expect every one of our appointment setters to make 100 dials. So 100 dials, and out of those 100 dials, what percent are you talking to decision makers, right? And that's going to give us an idea of the quality of the leads, the list that we're calling, just the process, the overall process. All right, so once we can figure out how many dials an appointment setter can make, how many decision makers they can talk to, and out of the decision makers, how many people do we book calls with, right? That's the percent that we want to look at. Okay, so let's say, for example, even if you were to, let's say, want to generate more leads, if you were to get an appointment setter, let's say that let's say you don't even have any leads. Okay, let's say that's a common problem, right? We come in and most people talk about them not having any leads in their database. And so what if the appointment setter could make sense out of cold calling, right? And so that's doing 100 dials a day. Let's say that they talk to 15% of the calls they make, they talk to a decision maker. right? These are cold leads, so you don't even have to have a database. You don't have to spend anything on paid ads. You don't have to have like a machine like we do for our agencies where we build out the cold email system to generate leads. Let's say they don't even have any of that. Let's say you just bring on an appointment setter. They make 100 dials, and if you know your math and you can get 15% out of every 100 dials, you can get 15% to actually talk to a decision maker, and that depends on a niche, but let's say that's average. That's 15 decision makers that one person is talking to on a daily basis. 15. Okay? Name me any other strategy, any other marketing strategy where you're on the phone physically talking to 15 decision makers daily, and you're not even the one that's doing the work. Okay, those are pretty. You would pay for that. And let's say out of those 15, let's just do some quick math here. Let's say out of the 15, you're able to generate. You're able to generate out of 15. You're able to generate. Let's say you convert 20% into a call. That's 3 appointments that they can book out of cold, thin air. Okay? And so if you times that by 5 days a week, that's 15 appointments. That's why I said it's unreasonable by us getting an appointment setter. It's unreasonable for us not to book 10 to 15 appointments. If they're making 100 dials, they're calling the right leads, right? A cold list, but a good cold list. The way that we define that is a good cold list is, for example, instead of just pulling 50,000 chiropractors, we'll pull 50,000 chiropractors. We'll use tools for us to allow us to look at that list and just gauge the most quality out of the 50,000. And for example, for us, we'll take a list of 50,000 chiropractors and we'll find 2,000 that are actively running Facebook ads right now. Because if they're already running Facebook ads, that means they're in the market. You could do this with contractors, solar companies, anything, any niche that you're in, gyms. Target. Let's start with people that are already advertising, right? Because we can find hidden gaps and we can propose a better offer, a better solution to their problem. And they believe in marketing, which is like half the game in terms of getting the sale, is convincing them that marketing works, digital marketing works. Okay, so once we find that ideal niche, that's about 2,000, there you go, that's your list. Okay, and so instead of us calling 50,000 chiropractors, which would still probably work, let's say that we're more effective because we've done this before, and now we're calling a list of 2,000 cold leads. They've never heard anything about you. The great thing about this is that your appointment setter will annihilate 2,000 contacts in a matter of a month, right? In a matter of a month, all 2,000 are hit. And out of that, you're able to book 15 appointments, right? If you do the math that I just mentioned there, where they make 100 dials, and out of 100 dials, they talk to 15 decision makers, right? That's the first part that we have to figure out. Okay, once we figure out that part, they're talking to enough decision makers to then see the results. Our goal is to then book 20% of those 15. That's 3 appointments booked into a call. And that's about 10 to 15 in a week, and that can equate to about 60 calls in a month. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. We're looking at every single percentage, right? This is what we used before for Cairo, but it's the same thing for an agency. You have to look at how many dials do you make, and then how many people do you then talk to. Okay, so that is everything there. And then best practices, guys, I don't know if you have a link to this case study. It's a very, very great case study that that a Harvard Business Review did. And the main things that I took away from this, and we've been testing this as we build an appointment setting team, speed of contact is everything, right? 1 minute makes all the difference. The persistence, and this is where most people go wrong, the persistence in calling the leads as many goddamn times that you need to do to get them to book an appointment is crucial. Crucial, right? And if you don't have an appointment setter, are you willing to do 6 follow-ups in the next 2 or 3 days every time a lead comes through? I don't know. But if you are willing to do it, then great. So be it. More power to you. But if you're not doing it and you're not hiring somebody else to do it for you and just not doing it completely, that's where the money's lost. Okay, the money's lost when we don't have it happening in the background, whether you're going to do it or you're going to hire an appointment setter to do it. All right. So our whole goal with working with any agency is, are we doing it? I don't care if you don't have the money to do it, you're doing it yourself. We'll show you how to do it, and we'll show you how it makes sense for you to do it if you're not getting enough revenue in your agency. Or if you don't want to do it, you don't have enough time, we'll show you how to bring on your first appointment setter, how to bring on your second, how to bring on your third, how to bring on 6 appointment setters so that your calendar is packed and you don't have to worry about generating more appointments. You don't have to worry about any of that lead calls going higher and higher on Facebook, you have a sustainable way to get appointments on the calendar. All right, so just make sure to be being persistent, you're following up the leads, and you're calling at the best days and times. All right, and that varies by niche. What they found in the studies is that usually the 8 to 9 a.m. time is good right before people go to work, as well as the 4 to 5 time right after they get out of work. It's about 5 to 6 p.m. Is a good time to give them a call. And that's obviously depending on the time zone. All right, so hope you guys got value out of that video. Just remember, right? Appointments is everything. So either you can moan about not getting appointments or build an outbound team, bring on an appointment sitter, or you yourself call the leads, start picking up the phone, and be responsible, be proactive in setting appointments. All right, that's everything for today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one.